Are you noticed now in Alaska? Are you like one of the more famous people there?
I mean,
other
Alaska
than
is,
Sarah Palin?
There's four of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Parker Schnabel is known as one of the most ambitious and strategic miners on Gold Rush. From his teenage days on the claim to becoming one of the most successful miners in the show's history, fans have watched him navigate challenges, risky decisions, and intense competition. But nothing could have prepared anyone for what was recently discovered in his personal safe, a revelation that has stunned the crew, the production team, and fans worldwide. For years, Parker has kept a strict routine, always organizing his claim, tracking gold meticulously, and safeguarding his most valuable finds. The safe, tucked away in his private office, was always off limits, a fortress of secrecy that no one dared to question. Inside it, Parker stored items far more valuable than ordinary, gold treasures that combine historical significance with immense monetary value. When a trusted crew member finally convinced Parker to show him the safe's contents during a routine inventory check, the reaction was immediate: shock, awe, and disbelief. The safe wasn't just a storage box. It was a vault filled with rare gold coins, historical mining maps marking untapped deposits, confidential legal agreements securing hidden land rights, and meticulous records of gold extracted over the past years. Some items were literally priceless, pieces of mining history that could easily be worth millions if ever brought to the market. What's even more astonishing is how Parker managed to keep it hidden for so long. Despite being one of the most public figures in modern mining, he kept these treasures completely off camera, away from fans and even many of his closest colleagues. The discovery not only revealed the sheer value of what he was protecting, but it also highlighted Parker's unmatched foresight, strategy, and discipline, a side of him rarely seen by the public. Now, the world is buzzing with questions. How did Parker amass such a collection? What secrets do the maps and agreements hold? And what does this discovery mean for his claim, his crew, and the future of mining on Gold Rush? Because in Parker Schnabel's world, the gold you see is only part of the story. Sometimes the real treasure is hidden, and when it's uncovered, it changes everything. For Parker Schnabel, gold isn't just a commodity, it's a puzzle, a challenge, and a legacy. Every day on the claim, he thinks about the next haul, the next nugget, and the best way to maximize every ounce extracted from the harsh Yukon terrain. But for years, there was one thing even Parker guarded more carefully than his mining operations: his personal safe. Tucked away in the corner of his private office, the safe was a fortress of secrecy, heavy, reinforced, and impossible to break without the combination. It held items Parker deemed invaluable, but even the crew, many of whom had spent years alongside him, never knew exactly what lay inside. The safe wasn't just a lockbox. It was a vault of history, strategy, and hidden fortune. The discovery began on an ordinary afternoon. Parker was reorganizing his office, reviewing old claims and records, when a trusted mechanic and longtime crew member, Ethan, asked to see what was inside the safe during a routine inventory check. Parker hesitated at first, a cautious glint in his eyes, but after a few minutes of persuasion, he dialed the combination and swung the door open. What the crew saw immediately stunned them. The safe wasn't filled with a few gold bars or spare tools. It was packed to the brim with treasures the size of legends. Gold dust in tiny vials sparkled like liquid sunlight. Rare nuggets the size of fists gleamed in the light, and envelopes marked with old claim numbers and legal documents hinted at secrets Parker had been keeping from everyone. But the real shock came when they uncovered the rare coins. Some dated back decades, minted during eras of the original Klondike Gold Rush. Others were minted coins from private collectors, virtually impossible to obtain today. Combined with historical mining maps showing untapped claims and confidential agreements Parker had negotiated with former claim owners, the safe contained a fortune and, more importantly, a lifetime of strategy and planning. Even Parker himself was taken aback by the sheer scale of it. Though he knew the safe held valuable items, seeing them all laid out at once revealed just how much he had accumulated without anyone noticing. Every coin, every nugget, every paper told a story of meticulous planning, quiet victories, and a mind always thinking 3 steps ahead. The crew realized immediately why Parker had kept the safe off limits for so long. This wasn't just about wealth. It was about control, security, and foresight. In Parker's world, the gold you see above ground is only a fraction of what really matters. The true treasure lies in the knowledge of where it is, how it can be used, and who can access it. Word of the discovery spread quickly, even within the crew. Questions began to fly. How long had Parker been accumulating these treasures? How much were they actually worth? And why had no one, not even the production team, known about them? For Parker, though, the safe was never about fame. It was about preparation. Every nugget, coin, and document represented years of careful strategy. And now, with the contents revealed, the value, both financial and historical, was clear to everyone. Some estimates suggested the contents could be worth millions. But the true value, Parker knew, wasn't in money. It was in the leverage, knowledge, and control that came with having such a concentrated, secret stash. The discovery of Parker Schnabel's safe didn't just shock the crew, it changed how they viewed him. Suddenly, the young miner they had seen as ambitious and talented became a master strategist, a man whose understanding of gold went far beyond the surface. And with the revelation out, one thing was clear: in the world of gold rush, the gold you see is only part of the story. The rest lies in the secrets you keep. The moment Parker Schnabel opened the safe, the atmosphere changed instantly. The crew, used to navigating harsh conditions, unpredictable machines, and the constant pressure of mining, had never seen anything like this. For years, they had assumed the safe contained minor valuables, gold dust, old paperwork, maybe a few personal items. They were unprepared for the staggering reality: a fortune worth millions, carefully hidden away and meticulously cataloged. Ethan, the mechanic who first saw the contents, described the reaction perfectly. It was like discovering a secret vault under the floor of a palace. We didn't just see gold, we saw history, planning, and power all in one place. Every item in the safe told a story. Each coin, each nugget, each legal agreement reflected Parker's intelligence and foresight. Some coins were so rare that even veteran collectors would pay a fortune for a single piece. The historical mining maps revealed claims Parker had secured quietly, far ahead of other miners, giving him an edge no one else could match. And the documents detailing legal agreements and claim ownership were practically a blueprint of Parker's rise to prominence. The crew couldn't stop talking. Whispers rippled through the claim. How did he get all of this? Why didn't anyone know? What does this mean for us? Tension and awe mixed in the air. Parker had always been ambitious, but now his ingenuity was undeniable. This safe wasn't just about wealth, it was a masterclass in strategy. But with revelation came pressure. Every crew member understood the potential impact. If outsiders learned about the safe's contents, it could invite unwanted attention, legal scrutiny, and even theft. Parker had carefully controlled who knew what. But now the secret was out among the people closest to him. Even a minor slip could have major consequences. Parker, always calm under pressure, addressed the crew firmly. This stays in this room. No one talks about it outside these walls. You saw it, you understand the rules. Though his tone was serious, there was a subtle acknowledgement of pride. Parker knew he had built something exceptional, something that could alter the course of his career. But he also knew that secrets of this magnitude carried weight and responsibility. Later that evening, the crew gathered to discuss the safe in more detail. They calculated rough values, debated the rarity of coins, the historical significance of maps, and the potential financial worth of unclaimed gold deposits revealed in the documents. Estimates ranged into the millions of dollars, though no one could truly quantify the full value until experts examined each item. Amid the excitement, there was also a sense of unease. The safe wasn't just valuable, it was delicate. Some items were centuries old, some maps were fragile, and some documents held sensitive legal implications. Mishandling any part of it could reduce its worth or worse, trigger legal complications. Even more concerning was the knowledge that the production crew, though experienced, had no idea what they were dealing with. If news leaked, Parker's reputation, claims, and operations could be questioned. He had to act swiftly, balancing transparency with discretion. By the end of the day, one thing was clear: The discovery of the safe had changed everything. The crew now understood Parker in a new light, not just as a driven young miner, but as a strategist with foresight, patience, and vision. Every decision he made, every claim he pursued, every nugget he mined was part of a larger plan. The safe was no longer just a storage container. It was a symbol of Parker's mastery over the Yukon gold scene, a hidden testament to his brilliance, and a treasure whose full story was only beginning to unfold. As whispers spread through the camp and speculation grew, one fact remained undeniable. Parker Schnabel's safe had revealed a side of him no one had seen before, and it was worth more than anyone could imagine. The discovery of Parker Schnabel's safe sent shockwaves through the crew. But the ripple effects didn't stop there. What had started as a private revelation between Parker and his trusted mechanic soon became the focal point of speculation, calculation, and tension. Everyone on the claim realized this was more than gold. It was leverage, strategy, and a story no one had seen coming. For years, Parker had built his reputation on bold decisions and careful planning. But the safe revealed an entirely new dimension of his genius: meticulous foresight. Each coin, nugget, map, and document was evidence that Parker wasn't just chasing gold, he was curating it, protecting it, and stacking layers of security and value in ways that no one else had considered. The crew had watched him haul tons of gold from the claim, make daring moves on competitors, and navigate the Yukon's brutal landscape, but now they saw the man behind the miner, a strategist whose vision extended decades beyond the present moment. The first reaction was awe. Ethan, the mechanic, admitted, "I've worked with Parker for years, but seeing that safe, it changed everything. You realize then, it's not just the gold he mines, it's the way he protects it, grows it, and plans for the future. He's not just a miner, he's a master of the whole game." But admiration quickly gave way to tension. The crew knew the stakes had risen dramatically. If word got out about the safe, Parker's claims, finances, and operations could come under scrutiny. Competitors might try to strike, and the legal implications of some documents and maps were uncertain. The safe was a treasure, yes, but it was also a potential liability. That night, Parker convened a private meeting with the core crew. The discussion was serious, almost tactical. He outlined the importance of confidentiality, the need to protect both the contents and the strategy behind them, and the potential risks if anyone leaked details. He said plainly, "This isn't just about money. It's about control, planning, and protecting the future. Treat it with respect. Don't speculate, don't share, and don't make mistakes." The crew nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. But curiosity remained. Questions about the maps, the legal documents, and the rare coins circled in their minds. How did Parker acquire some of these items? Why had he kept them hidden for so long? And, perhaps most importantly, what did Parker plan to do next? The answers began to emerge in the following days. Parker carefully reviewed each item, cataloging and securing everything with precision. He made notes, cross-referenced claims, and even planned a few strategic moves to capitalize on opportunities revealed in the safe. It became clear Parker had not only amassed a fortune, but he had also positioned himself to expand his operations, secure untapped claims, and maintain control over the Yukon gold scene for years to come. Meanwhile, whispers began to leak outside the camp. Fans speculated online, and rival miners started asking questions. The safe had become more than a container of wealth, it had become a symbol of Parker's dominance. But Parker remained calm. He understood the attention, knew the risks, and planned his next steps with the same precision that had always made him successful. For him, the safe wasn't just a secret stash, it was a tool, a guide, and a testament to decades of strategic thinking. Even at such a young age, by the end of the week, the crew accepted a new reality. Nothing on the claim would ever be the same. The safe had changed the dynamics, the trust, and the perception of Parker Schnabel forever. They weren't just working for a young miner anymore, they were witnessing the careful orchestration of a legend in the making. And as Parker locked the safe once again, the glitter of gold and the weight of history reflected in the dim light of the Yukon office, one truth became clear in Parker Schnabel's world. The gold you see is only a fraction of the treasure. The real power lies in the secrets you keep and in the vision to know how and when to reveal them. The discovery of Parker Schnabel's safe did more than shock his crew. It sent ripples through the entire Gold Rush universe. What had been a private vault, hidden away for years, suddenly became the center of speculation, admiration, and even envy. Word spread quickly. Fans began to piece together clues from past episodes, analyzing Parker's meticulous methods and calculated decisions in a whole new light. Every haul, every strategic move, suddenly seemed like part of a bigger plan. And now, thanks to the safe, the scale of that plan was undeniable. The crew, still buzzing from the initial revelation, noticed a subtle change in Parker. He became even more focused, more deliberate in his actions, and slightly distant from casual conversations. It wasn't anger or suspicion. They had worked with him long enough to recognize those behaviors, but a quiet intensity that spoke volumes. He knew the stakes had risen. The contents of the safe weren't just valuable, they were potentially explosive. Among the items, the rare coins drew the most attention. Some were literally irreplaceable, dating back to the earliest days of gold mining in the Yukon. Collectors and historians could spend a lifetime hunting such pieces. Yet Parker had them all carefully cataloged, tucked away behind layers of steel and security. The maps, legal agreements, and personal notes weren't just historical, they were a blueprint for untapped wealth. Suddenly, the safe wasn't just a personal stash. It was a master plan for years of strategic advantage. Fans online immediately reacted. Posts flooded forums, social media, and fan groups. Did you see Parker's safe? That's worth millions. No wonder he's been so successful. He's been hiding gold the whole time. The maps alone could change the game in the Yukon. The buzz was relentless, turning Parker from a young mining prodigy into a legend with a secret empire behind the scenes. Meanwhile, the production team at Gold Rush was forced to reassess their approach. For years, they had captured every ounce Parker mined, every negotiation he made, and every dramatic haul. Yet the safe had remained hidden, a private treasure Parker kept off camera. Now, producers had to consider the implications. What stories could be told? What footage could be included? And how could the revelation be presented without compromising Parker's privacy or the safety of the crew? The crew, too, felt the weight of responsibility. Handling the safe became more than a routine task. It required discretion, precision, and absolute trust. Every item was cataloged, stored securely, and accounted for meticulously. Mishandling even a single piece could lead to loss, legal issues, or worse, attracting the wrong kind of attention. For Parker, the safe was both a triumph and a challenge. It represented years of careful planning, smart deals, and relentless work in the Yukon. But it also raised stakes, revealing just how much power and responsibility he carried. Every decision now would be scrutinized, not just by his crew or competitors, but by fans, historians, and anyone who knew of the safe's incredible contents. Despite the pressure, Parker remained unshaken. The safe, after all, was a testament to his vision. It was proof that gold isn't just about digging, it's about strategy, foresight, and knowing the value of what's hidden beneath the surface. And while the revelation had shaken the crew and sent the fanbase into a frenzy, Parker knew one thing. The real treasure wasn't just the gold inside the safe, it was the knowledge, the control, and the legacy he had built, carefully, piece by piece, over years of relentless work. As the crew settled in for another long day on the claim, the safe sat quietly in Parker's office, a silent reminder of the hidden fortune and untold story within. It had changed everything: relationships, strategies, and expectations, and it would continue to shape the future of Parker Schnabel and the world of Gold Rush for years to come. The gold above ground was impressive, but the real wealth, as everyone now realized, had been hidden in plain sight all along.